Since the ESBC game event that was held last month in North Carolina, eSports Boxing Club fans have gotten a little bit of silence from the SCI team. This isn't something that we aren't used to by this point, but that could mean that they are gearing up for another big showing. Now, there are obviously a lot of things that we still want to know about the game and its current development, but I think a lot of this information is tied up to who is going to actually be signing on as its publisher. There really will be no better time to announce this and additional information than at a major gaming convention. Around June of last year, eSports Boxing Club landed a spot on the Games Radar Future Game Show and really took its first big step at announcing itself on a grand stage. But the question now is, where could we potentially see them next? Now that the world is starting to open back up from the COVID pandemic, we are starting to see live events happen again. PAX East, which was held in Boston, Massachusetts, put on its first live event since having its previous one postponed in 2021. But now that game show organizers are leaning more towards putting on not only in-person but online events, these shows are far more accessible than ever before. So without further ado, here is my list of game conventions that I would like to see ESBC. First up is Summer Game Fest. This event usually has a good deal of publisher press conferences where they're giving updates about their games. And I'm sure a lot of you may be familiar with segments like Ubisoft Forward. But if you have followed the recent debate on who is going to sign on as ESBC's publisher, then you will know that the names like 2K Games and me personally, Tencent Games, are names that have been thrown out there. And it just so happens that both of these names are signed on as partners for this event. We also know that current members of the development team have connections to previous gaming companies like EA and Epic Games. So if those relationship doors have remained open, then we could potentially see a publisher relationship created with either of those two as well. But obviously we don't know, and we won't know until there is an official announcement from Steel City Interactive. Now, Gamescom is obviously the biggest name on this list, and for good reason. It's arguably one of the biggest gaming conventions of the entire year. Gamescom's last physical event in 2019 hosted over 373,000 visitors. ESBC getting a spot here would really put itself in front of a massive crowd and would kind of just straight up announce itself as being much bigger than just indie development. Now, last but not least, DreamHack. DreamHack would almost be a perfect fit. Being that ESBC is being advertised as an esport, DreamHack just so happens to be one of the world's biggest esports events of the entire year. People in attendance typically take part in land-based tournaments, but they also get to watch the finals to major titles like Halo and League of Legends. DreamHack takes one of the biggest competitive communities and puts them all in one place, while also hosting tabletop gaming sessions and other areas where developers can actually put their game on display. I think DreamHack would be a great opportunity for Steel City Interactive to actually get their game in the hands of the general public. They would get an opportunity to somewhat playtest the game against other members there who could now play the game in a similar fashion that we did during the ESBC game event. So those are my list of events that I would like to see ESBC show up sometime this year. I think it's a great opportunity to not only identify who the publisher is going to be, but also get the game out there to be seen on a bigger stage, or potentially get this game in the hands of casual or hardcore fans who have traveled to these events. I think it's an opportunity that shouldn't be missed. But you guys let me know, man. Is there a particular event that y'all would like to see ESBC at, or all three of these that I mentioned? Let me know down in the comment section, man. And like always, appreciate y'all for coming back to the Coach's Corner, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace out.